Speech by Jawaharlal Nehru. Tryst with Destiny. In this speech, we have message of Jawaharlal Nehru to India. Tryst with Destiny. Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of India. As a Prime Minister, he served India from 1947 until he died in 1964. He was a central figure in the Indian independence movement for freedom from the British. He was known as Pandit Nehru due to his Kashmiri Pandit community roots. Indian children knew him as Chacha Nehru. As a man of vision, Pandit Nehru led the foundation of modern India and established several economic, social, and educational reforms. Nehru was also a prolific writer in English and authored several books such as The Discovery of India, Glimpses of the World History, Letters from a Father to His Daughter, and his autobiography, Toward Freedom. Sham Benegal's TV series Bharat Ek Khoj was based on Jawaharlal Nehru's famous book The Discovery of India. In 1955, Nehru was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor. The speech Tryst with Destiny was delivered by Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, on the eve of India's independence, towards midnight on 14th August 1947. Jawaharlal Nehru addressed this speech to the Indian Constituent Assembly in the Parliament. The speech is considered one of the greatest speeches of the 20th century. In this speech, Nehru makes us aware of the various problems in our country like poverty, disease, ignorance, inequality, which are the obstacles in the progress of the country. Nehru also wants to bring the nation's attention towards the challenges and opportunities in the future. He appeals to the people of India that while there are challenges in post-independent India, they should struggle hard for greater triumphs or victories and achievements that are ahead. The speech fills the audience with nationalistic pride and passion. Tryst with Destiny. Long years ago, Indians had come together to fight against the British colonial rule to achieve freedom, and now freedom has finally come. So with this, Jawaharlal Nehru started his speech. In his speech, he expresses his feelings, his emotions, his wishes, his ways of attitudes of thinking. He says, our nation was suppressed for a long time, but now it is the birth of an independent India. Nehru wants the makers of the constitution to take the pledge of dedication. Pledge means oath. Oath of dedication to the service of the nation and her people and the whole of humanity. India has emerged as a new nation in the early hours of 15th August 1947. This grand success is result of the sacrifice done by the freedom fighters. Nehru reminds the people of India that they have to maintain the freedom and work for the development of India as a great nation. According to Nehru, our country has gone through both good and ill fortune, but has never lost its ideals. These ideas gave her strength. The celebration of independent India on the 15th of August is only an opportunity for great success that is ahead. Nehru says that the period of ill fortune is ended and India discovers himself again. Further, Nehru reminds the people of India that freedom and power bring responsibility. Now, the responsibility rests upon the assembly. In this post independence era, there are new opportunities and responsibilities before the nation. Nehru points out that the future is not an easy one, but we have to strive a lot to fulfill the pledge we have so often taken. We have to do the service of poor people who suffer all over the country. Nehru speaks about the problems the country is dealing with. He mentions the problems of poverty, ignorance, disease, and inequality of opportunity, but he follows this with words of optimism. He urges people to work hard to change or transform our dreams into reality. Those dreams are also for the world because all the nations in the world are closely connected and they cannot live apart. Nehru implores all Indians to set aside petty and destructive criticism and not to waste time for ill will and blaming others. He continues, we have to build the noble mansion of free India where all her children may dwell. He knows that the sorrows and harsh memories of the past will still cling to us, but believes that these sorrows will give rise to new hopes. Nehru also recognizes the contributions made by Gandhi. He mentions Mahatma Gandhi as the architect of this freedom. Furthermore, he refers to him as the father of the nation who embodies the old spirit of India. He considers Gandhi as the torchbearer of the Indian struggle for independence. He appeals to the Indians that they should believe in the message of Mahatma Gandhi. Nehru also talks about the people on the other side of the border, referring to them as our brothers and sisters who have been cut off from us by political boundaries. He gives the assurance that we shall be sharers in their good and ill fortune alike because they are of us and will remain of us. Nehru feels that all Indians should work hard for the development of their nation. The past is over and we have to take care of the future by dedicating ourselves to future generations. Further, he makes us aware of our responsibility by saying that we have to bring freedom and opportunity to the common man, to the peasants and workers of India, and also to fight against poverty and ignorance. Nehru has dreamt of a prosperous, democratic, and progressive India. He expects that we have to create social, economic, and political institutions which will ensure justice and fullness of life for all. So at the end, he says, being the citizens of a great country, we Indians must live up to that high standard. Though the Indians belong to diverse religions, they cannot encourage communalism or narrow mindedness. They are the children of India with equal rights, privileges, and obligations. According to Nehru, all the countries in the world are closely connected and no one can live in isolation. At this moment, he sends his greetings to the nations and peoples of the world and also assures to cooperate with them in furthering peace, freedom, and democracy. At last, he pays reverent homage to our motherland and wishes to bind ourselves afresh to her service. So, this is how this speech is about, that will wish of our Prime Minister. Here we'll stop.